What up, New York Giant Nation? It is your boy, MacDaGiantsFan, welcoming you to the Week 16 edition of the True Blue Preview. The New York Football Giants traveling down the turnpike to take on their rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles, at the Link on Christmas Day. Let's get to it. Two teams, struggling football teams currently in this season, struggling in very different ways. New York Giants have been struggling all season long, having their 3-game win streak snapped last Sunday against the New Orleans Saints down in the Bayou. Philadelphia Eagles coming into this game on a 3-game skid. After accumulating 10 wins on the season, things have just kind of stood still for the Eagles right now. Eagles not playing their best football. Eagles have not been have not been playing great football all season. But at the end of the day, they are a 10-win football team for a reason. It's because they are very much a good football team. I don't want anybody to confuse and mix my words up. What I'm saying is, but they are not your prototypical 10-win football team. The way they've gotten to the 10 is a little bit, you can definitely pick it apart and dissect it a little bit. At the end of the day, they still have 10 victories on their hands, but nonetheless, they have still dropped the last 3. And this New York Giant team, after the loss Sunday down in New Orleans, Brian Dable wasted no time in making it quite clear that Tommy DeVito was still going to be the Christmas Day starter against the Philadelphia Eagles. Young man really had a tough go at it on Sunday against the Saints. Saints defense was getting after it all day long, making it a very rough day for Tommy DeVito, sacking him 7 times, and that's coming off of a Monday night performance against the Packers in which he wasn't sacked once. So, he had a rough day down in New Orleans. But you gotta live, you gotta learn. And this young man, for what it's worth, showed a lot of guts down there. I mean, he had to step out the game for a little bit to get tested for a concussion. He was getting knocked around pretty good in this football game. However, man, look, at the end of the day, Saints kind of did expose him for what he really is, which is a undrafted rookie free agent quarterback. Okay, enough said. I'm still okay with the decision to keep Tommy DeVito on the field because at the end of the day, I feel like he has probably more of a chance of being here next year than even a Tyrod Taylor at this point. And you know what you got in Tyrod Taylor. There's no evaluation period with Tyrod Taylor. Right now, this is kind of an evaluation period for Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito needs to show that he can either potentially move forward as a backup quarterback for the New York Giants in the future, or at least be in this league at all, that he belongs in this league at all, which I think he's kind of he's been showing a little bit of signs that he belongs in this league. He definitely can show that he can play, that he can definitely come out there and give you some decent minutes if in a pinch if you need a guy to do so. I think what the New York Giants need to do, man, is they got to try to assert their will in this game some kind of way, man, because the Eagles, people are trying to really give the New York Giants a chance here because the Eagles have the way they've been looking the last few weeks. But here's the difference in the way that the Eagles have been looking and how they've been playing against other opponents the last few weeks in the New York Giants. The teams the Eagles have been playing against have the ability to exploit the weaknesses of the Eagles' defense. The New York Giants have not demonstrated that ability all season to be able to exploit where the Eagles are weak at. The Eagles are weak in the back end of their defense, but the New York Giants do not have the weapons on the outside, and they just don't have the offensive line to protect, to hold up long enough for Tommy DeVito to be able to get that ball down the field the way other teams have been doing to the Philadelphia Eagles these last few games, but it's really been happening all season. Eagles have been getting a lot of lucky breaks, you know what I mean, and winning some of these football games. And some of that's testament to just how good they are, the depth on this football team and the talent on this football team. But sometimes that's just not good enough. However, in this game against the Giants, things are a little different. The Giants don't have the extra talent. They don't have the weapons to exploit the Eagles' weakness. The Eagles are weak in the back end of their defense, but where the Eagles are strong on the defense is up front. Where the Giants are very, very weak offensively is that offensive line. As we all know, it is no secret. The second worst offensive line in football right now as far as rankings go. And this team can't block. They can't block anything. So where the Eagles' strength of their defense is right up front, they're going to be able to exploit the Giants' weakness big time. And the Giants are probably going to have a hard time executing. That's why you got to try to get number 26, get them going. some kind of way, figure it out. You got to figure out a way to get Saquon Barkley going because that's the only way you're going to be able to slow down the Eagles' pass rush is if you can get Saquon Barkley running the football well, in between the tackles, whatever it takes, because that's what we're going to have in this game. There's no way the Giants are going to have any chance in this game if they cannot establish some form of a running game because that's it. That's what the Giants had to rely on in this one. That's the way they're going to be able to make this a competitive football game is getting the run game established because you're not going to be able to just drop Tommy DeVito back and have him sitting back like a sitting duck. This offensive line, look, it can't block. If they're not wearing number 78 on their uniform, it's pretty hard to rely on the guy. It just really is up front. If their number's not 78 for the New York Giants, other than that, it's pretty hard to rely on anybody else, honestly. I mean, it just is. It's just been tough slaying. I mean, right now, Eagles potentially have the next defensive rookie of the year on their roster right now, and Jalen Carter. It's a strong chance that young man's going to win that award come the end of the season. And his presence in the interior is where the Eagles defense is just it's menacing, and he is going to make it a rough day for the New York Giants interior lineman, JMS's center. Justin Pugh and Bretterson at the guard position. He's going to make it tough for those guys because he's been making it tough for guys all season long. So the Giants have got to have to figure out a way to get Saquon Barkley going, establish the run, and then maybe that can open up some things, play action passes, and get the ball downfield where the Eagles are weak at in their defense. I mean, they can be had down the field, but the New York Giants got to be able to create those opportunities. I mean, like I said, the weapons aren't the best for the New York Giants, but they have a couple of capable receivers that can still go out there and probably make it hell for the Eagles secondary because the Eagles secondary, let's face it, is not good at all. Their linebacker play is not good at all. But like I said, the things the Giants do worse is countered by what the Eagles do best. So we'll have to see about that, man. And right now, honestly, the playoff thing, yeah, sure, Giants aren't mathematically out of it, but they're out of it. So let's not even really pretend and try to act like the Giants have a real chance of making the playoffs here. They're just not with 2 games against the Eagles and a game against the Rams left on the schedule as well. Let's not even pretend all of that. So now let's take these next 3 games and let's use them as a strong evaluation period and evaluate the talent that's on this team and see who do you want to move forward with and who do you want who's. Let's face it. Who can we get rid of, man? Who can we let go? Who can we just let walk away? I mean, obviously, I'm thinking we're not going to be seeing Sterling Shepard in the New York Giant uniform next year. That's like a foregone conclusion. I feel like this young man barely plays for the team this year. It seems like he's just taking up a roster spot for whatever reason. Xavier McKinney is a player right now that is definitely. Is going to be of high interest right now. I mean, is his asking price going to be too high coming up on his coming up on his free agency? I don't know. That's what it's going. I mean, young man has really started to evolve and look like the safety we knew he could be over the course of these past month or so of the season. He's really turned it on, man. Turned it up. So we'll see. He's going to be a guy. Decisions are going to have to be made. Dory Jackson, guys like that. You know, it's time to make decisions on these guys, man. And the New York Giants have to start trying to rebuild and build something up with this football team, man. Also, defensively, this team, you know, it didn't play horribly. Didn't really totally play horribly defensively against the Saints, but the game plan was absolutely atrocious. Too much zone, not enough pressure being created, and he just made it too easy. But at the end of the day, the defense still somewhat was keeping this team in the game for as long as they could. Now, like to see the pressure get to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been very turnover prone this season. Let's get that pressure on him, man. Kayvon Thibodeau, let's get after it. Azeez Ojulari, get after it, man. Guy, that big decks in the middle, man. That defense, let's get up in there. Let's get after it, man. Because these are the way. This is the way you're going to have a chance against this Philadelphia Eagle team. Is you got to try to disrupt Jalen Hurts a little bit. He is not having the kind of year he had a season ago. No matter what people try to say and try to put him in some kind of MVP conversation, that's an absolute joke to me. This kid has been a turnover machine all season. It's been a lot of really bad play where honestly the rest of his team is kind of bailing him out. All these touchdowns people keep talking about, glorifying these touchdowns, they're 1 yard tush pushes, man. They're 1 yard tush pushes. Let's face it. Let's call it what it is, man. It's time to call this team out. Is this team this Philadelphia Eagle team is a bit fraudulent in my opinion. They are not the team they were a season ago. They have issues. They have serious issues. Can the New York Giants exploit these issues? I'm not counting on it. Not only just because, like I said, I just think the Giants don't have to have what it takes to exploit the issues, the deficiencies of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I also think that it's just I'm a man about history, man, and let's face it, I can hate to admit it, but it's the facts. The Eagles own the New York Giants. The Philadelphia Eagles, no matter what, just seem to own the New York Giants. The Giants struggle against this football team year in, year out, throughout my whole fanhood. Throughout my whole fanhood, which goes back to '85. The New York Giants just struggle with this football team. No matter who's coaching this team, no matter who's the personnel on this team, the New York Giants struggle. The Giants seasons where the Giants are overwhelmingly better than them, they still struggle against this fucking team. I don't get it. I can't understand it. With that being said, score prediction for me, I think, honestly, you might hate me for this, New York Giant Nation. It's Christmas Day. But I think the Eagles dialing up 40 on this team, man. I think the Eagles are going to dial up 40 on us. I think the Eagles are going to they're going to get some get back here. They're going to try to, use this as a game to get themselves right. And I think they will, to be quite frank. I just think the Giants don't have what it takes to. This is a bad matchup for the Giants. They don't have what it takes to exploit what the Eagles do poorly. I think the Eagles score 40. I'll say 41, and I'll say 41-20. Philadelphia Eagles 41-20 here. I think we just don't have. I think we're just going to have. It's going to be a struggle all day for the New York Giants here. But hopefully, Christmas Day. Prove me wrong, baby. Make it a Merry Christmas for me, New York Giants. I would love to see it happen, but if I'm going with my gut, my heart's telling me that's what I got to go with right now. I think Eagles win 40-20, 41-20 in this one, man. 41-20. And like I said, maybe the Giants can prove me wrong on Christmas Day, man. Make it a Christmas miracle at the link for me, man. But it's Christmas Day. But immediately following the game, I will still be coming at you live in the living color on my channel at MacDaGiantsFan with the true blue aftermath immediately following the game. Make sure you tune in. It's always a live one when we play the Eagles, baby. So tune in for that immediately following the game. And most definitely don't forget, coming up Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, myself and my guy Adam Costas for another edition of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. Happy holidays to everybody. Make sure you enjoy the game on Christmas Day. Hopefully it's a good one, man. It's your boy Mac the Giants fan. Peace! I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants Fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants Fan. That's MacDa Giants Fan.